for the Build-A-Page series that I've been joining in with. I'm gonna do things a little bit differently for July and August just because it's summer, my routine's kind of off. I've had a bit of a mojo slump going on this summer, and I will be traveling for the month of August. It was supposed to be July and August, and then as you can see, I'm still at my desk. It didn't happen for July. We had some trailer stuff that had to get fixed up and life kind of hit, but I will be gone for most of August. So I do want to make sure that I'm bringing some stuff with me, but I didn't want to overload myself if I don't get as much time as I think I might get while we're away. So my kits are gonna look a little different. What I thought I would do is today I just wanted to explain to you what my little Project Life kit is here and how I kind of travel with some creative projects. I'll also do a video on what my Traveler's Notebook kits look like. I've shown both before, but I get lots of questions about them, so it's worth showing you guys again. So probably I'll do the Project Life one in this video, and then I'll start putting the kits together, and then for August I'm gonna go ahead and film it all right now so everything's ready, everything's set. I can schedule it and it'll be up without any delays. But in August's video I'll show you guys my Traveler's Notebook travel kit that I bring with me. So what my plan is, I'm gonna put together all of the page kits, so 5 for July, 5 for August. They're all coming out of this album, which is the second album in my 2017 Cross Canada trip. And I have both Project Life pocket pages in here and 12 by 12. So it's gonna be a mix of the two of them. I figure I can bring the Project Life cards with me, and those are what I will work on in August, and then I can work on some of the 12 by 12s here for July. But I figured I might as well put all of the pages together, and then that way I can just split the videos and have them ready to go for August too. So working a little bit ahead, and I hope that works out for me. But anyways, I did want I think this box is probably from maybe somewhere between 2013, 2012 and 2014 is what I'll say. I don't think I was getting kits much after we adopted our older boys, so somewhere around there. So it's pretty old, but it has Then I can just loop this over the hanger for that costume, and all her stuff is here and I can see it. I'll put a little, you know, label of some kind here so we make sure we know tights, all that stuff. But this would work really well too, because you can just throw this into your luggage and everything is safe and sound. So there's lots of different options. I would even think, depending on where you're going, that an iris container, like a 5x7 iris container, or maybe 2 of them, would work really well. So you can see it's the same size. It's not quite as wide, but if you had 2 of them, you could use an elastic to hold the 2 together, and that would also work. It's nice and sturdy. But that's just a few different options if you guys were kind of wanting to put some travel kits together for yourself. But I like this, and it's full of stuff. It is so full of stuff. So let me quickly kind of go through what I've got in here. Basically, anytime that I have sticker sheets that maybe I'm not really using them that much, or they're super themey to travel or that kind of thing, or it's just the last few bits of a sticker sheet, I like to throw them in here. Leftover, you know, things that I've punched. So you saw me use these in a couple of pages in the Build-A-Page series. I punched out whatever I didn't use, popped it into one of these little baggies, and I'm gonna bring that with me. Leftover, let's see, enamel dots, because I do like enamel dots in my Project Life and Pocket Pages. So if I have a couple where there's not many left, I'll throw them into here. And then I just kind of have a variety of colors. I like the Stampin' Up! And Close to My Heart always have these little packages for their enamel dots, so I keep those, and then that way I just have these cute little baggies that fit in really nicely. Bits of paper. So let me show you. Here's a few bits of paper. So I know I recently talked about how I'm good at not keeping scraps that I know I'm not going to use, but if there is something that I really like and it's a fairly good size chunk that I think would work on a Project Life card, I'll keep that to the side. I'll just put it right here, and when I'm going through this, I just throw it in. So this doesn't usually have a lot of matching supplies. I really like the randomness of it, but obviously if you were creating your own, you could put in very themed products. So as you're using product, if you have leftover bits like this that you think would work for whatever project you're using, you can throw it into your box, and then you have all these scraps that are Project Life sized. Or if you weren't working on Project Life, I've also just loaded this kit up with things like this, and things like larger elements like this. You know, something really big. This is my random ephemera die cut that I don't use a lot of. I throw them all into here, and then if I'm teaching a class, I bring this with me. Students are looking for something to embellish. I just let them pick through here, and you know, sometimes they find a bunch of stuff and sometimes they don't. But a lot of it, as you can see, it's bigger elements, and I struggle with those. But these work really good if you just wanted to create some ephemera clusters or some embellishment clusters. So I'll usually pick and pull a few of these and just pop them into the box, and then you have some smaller elements, strips of paper, washi and stuff like that, and you could just spend your vacation creating a few little embellishment clusters, and it gives you some creative outlet and some time to yourself if you're, you know, sitting in the hotel room winding down for the night and the kids are watching a movie or whatever, or you know, you want to fussy cut a bunch of stuff and then make your embellishment cluster, stamp, whatever it is you might want to do. Sometimes even I'll do this kind of stuff as we're traveling and I'm just collecting business cards and little, you know, tickets and things that from places we go and stuff that we do while we're traveling. And I don't even worry about pictures. I just start creating the embellishment clusters, and then when I get home, I have stuff to go ahead and pop onto a page. So just another kind of suggestion if you don't necessarily want to bring specific pictures and cards, or if you don't do Project Life, you could definitely just focus on those embellishment clusters. So I've got bits of paper. I usually bring this little stencil because I do tend to travel with a water brush, the brushes that I fill up with water, and some watercolors. My kids love to play with them too, so it's a good thing for them. I usually bring some watercolor coloring pages, and they'll color on those, and then I have my watercolors, so I'll use my stencil. I don't tend to bring texture paste or anything like that, but this works with watercolors. It's kind of fun. Whoops, there goes my pen. I always have a black pen with me, which I'll have to grab. The random stickers. In this case, I threw some of these cards in here because I am going to be doing Project Life. So these are watercolor cards that, I could cover up the word if I want to. I don't have to use that, but they're just some good card bases. I always try to have at least one 4x6 card and at least one 4x3 card in this box, because if I'm not gonna use it as a card, at least I have the size, so I'm able to create my own cards, and then that way I know everything I've created will slip into the pockets easily. So that kind of stuff, just random things that maybe I see that are really cute but I'm not using, I'll throw that in here. So these are just these little punch out letters. This is just it's not even a Project Life card. I'm not sure what it is. It's tiny. It's smaller than 4x3, but it says life is an adventure. That's kind of travel-y. So I put it in here because this is all travel. I have some little tiny alphas. I will add more alphas in here, but I don't know if you guys are like me. I'm just gonna pull that off. There we go. If you guys are like me, but oftentimes you get given little card kits and stuff like that as presents or whatever, or I'll pick them up at, you guys know, Dollar Tree, Dollarama, that kind of thing, and they come with these little sheets of alphas, and I don't use them too often in my 12x12 pages, but these tiny little letters are so great on Project Life cards. So I will throw a few of these in here, and also of course Simple Stories sheets, because they lie flat and they fit in this box, and so they work really good too. But anything like that, you throw it in. I have a thing of sequins. These containers from Stampin' Up! Are so great because it's super flat, so it fits in here no problem. These are Stampin' Up! Sequins, but you wouldn't have to. You can put any sequins in there you want. Some actual cards. I think I'll probably end up taking these out. They're very game themed, and that's not going to be and have anything to do with this album. So along with the stickers, again, sticker sheets, this is all Simple Stories, so they fit in here so well, and I just leave them in there. I love to add some pop dots in there, so this pack has some big ones, some little ones, and then of course I use all the negative space as well. I put a little bit of dimension into some of my cards because I just find it helps keep them nice and snug in their pockets, so that works really good. And I think for a long time I was getting these at Dollarama, which is a great deal, so I have a few packs of those. Washi tape I put onto playing cards. This one, for example, I don't know if you can see in there, but it's just a cheap playing card from Dollar Tree, the waxy ones, the really smooth waxy ones, because the washi tape comes off of those really well. So that's what this is. This was a piece of acetate that actually came in a pocket page letter, so I don't remember who sent this to me, but I kept it because it's got some fun pieces on it. This one was from another pocket page that I created. This is a little bit more narrow, as you can see, so it fit into the pocket page, and then it looped on top, so I made a little interactive element, and this was just an extra. I made up a whole bunch of them, but just some general washi tape, different sizes, different widths, different colors, but pretty basic ones that I know I'll use. So I always have those in there. I throw in odds and ends of stickers, odds and ends of die cuts, and these are even a few little really thin wood veneer. So random stuff, completely random, because that's what I like to use. I usually have a few fun strips of paper, stuff that again, I've cut it and I know that it's a big enough piece that I'm probably gonna use it on a Project Life card. So I keep those. And I even have punches in here. I have stickers, lots of stickers. I have some little tiny gems, 2 little punches, a heart and a star, and that's about it. So when I'm just working on random Project Life, kind of daily life Project Life cards, I like to have a whole bunch of random stuff. I feel like as I'm going through the box, I'm going through my stash. I'm picking out things for individual cards. I'm kind of putting stuff together. I might throw in paper, usually 6x6 papers that I just cut down to the right size so they fit in the box. You can see here that I just have to cut them a little bit. And they'll fit nicely in the box, and I can use both the large piece as a card or cut it up, and then I have that small strip which I can use for decorating and, you know, creating elements on the cards. But I will usually pick maybe a few pieces so that if I'm working on one full page of pocket, I have some repeating elements so the page actually comes together. Or in this case, since this is a themed album, I'm gonna go ahead and probably empty a lot of this stuff out of here and build my little page kits around the travel themes. So that is my kit. That's what I'm gonna be doing. I think what I'll do to kind of keep myself organized is as I'm pulling cards, I'm going to pop them into here. I'll show you how I do it so that I know where my cards come from, and I'll explain the whole thing as I go. But I'm gonna put them into here first, and then I'll be able to count how many cards I'm making and make sure that I get my 5 before I do my box. Because in this situation, I think it's gonna be easier to do it in reverse and actually pick my pictures first and then find all the stuff to go with them. So let's clean off this desk and pick some pictures. Okay, so a few things that I always have with me when I'm putting this together. I usually make out a card. These are just index cards. I have a whole bunch of them. I always keep them with me. They're like my best tool when I'm traveling. So I always usually have an index card where I kind of list all the things that I want to make sure I have in my kit that I can bring with me. I use this over and over again. I don't, you know, tend to write one out every single time I put this kit together because it's mostly the same stuff. So I've got like papers. In this case, I added travel and summary papers, stickers, enamel dot sequins, die cuts, thread. I'll throw in some twine of some sort in there usually. Stamp and ink, I'll explain that when I do it. Scissors, adhesive, my black pen, some wet glue if I have space. If not, I will just go with my adhesive, and when I get back, I'll add the things that need wet glue. So sometimes I'm putting these together and I know I'm not going to be able to finish the card completely. I'll have to wait till I get home. But usually I see how much space I actually have in my box before I worry too much about that. And then I just grabbed a couple other index cards in case I need to make any notes or things that I kind of think of as I'm pulling pictures that I want to make sure I remember. Then I always have some sticky notes here so that I can write down what pictures I took out of what pockets, and then that way I know where to put them all back properly. Sometimes that matters, sometimes it actually doesn't matter that much. But in this travel album where I've actually got all the pictures already into pockets and kind of in the order I want them in, I want to make sure I'm putting them back properly. And then I've got my iris container. So I've kind of developed this system to work with my way of scrapping, and this is why it works. I print in batches. So for this travel album, I printed all of the pictures all at once. I got home, I organized, I edited. I have no problem working behind. I'm behind. It's just the way that I am, but I kind of like that process of not scrapbooking something right away. I like when you have the opportunity to go back and look at it and reflect and remember. And so this is my travel album from 2017, and it looks pretty full, but actually it's not done. So I batch print when I'm doing Project Life or Pocket Pages. I print monthly and then just insert my pictures into the pockets. Sometimes I might add cards into those pockets as well. I sit in front of the TV, I cut the pictures, I arrange them into their pages, into their pockets, and sometimes my albums will just sit like that, kind of half done for a long time, and sometimes they don't. Sometimes I'm really motivated and I end up working on pages and finishing pages. I don't do it in chronological order because this album, all the pictures are in here. So if I want to flip through and something catches my attention and I say, this is the page that's calling to me right now, I want to do these pictures, there they are, they're ready to go, and I don't feel like I've skipped over anything because I can always go back and pick a different page next time. So this system works for me. If you guys kind of print pictures as you go and scrap as you go, then you may just want to follow whatever order you're in, and you might not have to go through the process of making labels and making sure you know where all of your pictures go. But that's what I need to do, so I thought I would show you. I already started, actually. So I'll just show you here. This card was in here with these pictures tucked into the pocket. So I knew I wanted to use this card because it matches these cards, and then the pictures that kind of went with it. And then this card was in here with these pictures, and I'm using this card on both sides, which I do quite often when I think that my album is going to get really full. I will try, it doesn't always work, but I will try to use both sides of the card, so I only have one card in there and then pictures and embellishments on either side. And it might seem like adding another card isn't a big deal, but it can get really thick really quickly, and so this is how thick my album is. Here, I'll show you. This is how thick my album is, with most of these not even having cards in them yet. So it's already the full width of the spine, as you can see. And probably as I get this finished, I'm going to have to transfer most of this into another album. So if I can save even that smallest amount of space from every page, it means that this is going to be an album that kind of stays nice and doesn't get warped and look too big and too full. So when I'm picking my pictures, if there's a card with them, I will pull out the card. On here, I've written a number 1. As you can see, on these pictures, I've written number 1 and number 1, just in pencil, very light. And then on a little sticky note, I wrote here, Sunset Pics, number 1. And I've stuck that inside the pocket. So when this card is done, I will remember, because I've also written it on the back here, number 1, and then I put back because obviously Sunset Pics I don't think would work with the adorbs. I guess it could, but I'm using this side, but I'll still remember here. So that's where that came from. For this one, I will sneakily put something somewhere, maybe even a sticky note over top, just to let me know this is number 2. But I did put the number 2, where are you? Number 2, where I know that it'll be covered up. Number 2 on both of these pictures. Number 2 right here on the sticky note, and then I put off the ferries, because these are pictures of us driving off the ferry. On here I put number 3, where I know that it's going to be covered up. On all of these pictures, I've put number 3. And then where this is gonna be, I've put number 3. It might seem like overkill because it's the same card and I'm gonna slip it in, but in my head it just makes sense as I'm counting things that I know that that's where it's gonna go. So now that I've got those, I'm gonna go ahead and put them in here just so that I don't lose anything. I just don't wanna lose track. So here is number 1, and then number 2 and number 3. I'm just gonna flip them like that. I think I'm also gonna pull this one. So again, I've used 1 card. This side is already done. This side is gonna be number 4. So I'll just put number 4, and I'm gonna put back of finished card. Pop that in here on the side that the card's actually gonna face. Then I'll put number 4. Hi.
Hi.
Number 4. Number 4.
Are you gonna voice over this?
Number 4. I am not gonna voice over this, so say hello.
Hi.
The boys just got back from hanging out with their grandma. So now if I go to this card, this is a card that's also done on one side and just has a couple pictures here. So I'll go ahead and make this number 5. Number 5. Sometimes I just have to guess where I think the pictures are gonna go, and kind of I put the number there, but I'll probably throw a pencil in or at least an eraser, and if I need to erase those numbers, then I can. And then I'll put them on here. Number 5. Number 5. Pop that into my container, and then I'll put here number 5, and these are pictures of me scrapbooking. Scrapbooking at the hostel.
You want your show, buddy?
Put that in here.
Here you go.
Take out the next one. I'm not going to touch these 2. This will probably end up being some journaling, but I think once I have the whole page together, then I can go ahead and journal. I'm not going to touch these 2 right now. If I do want to add any little embellishments to it, I'll add that when I get home. I might just put a little title here or some journaling here, or maybe put the journaling for these pictures here and, you know, put a little arrow or something. So I'm going to leave that. So let's see, if I do sort of these 2 pictures as day 1, these as day 2, I think I'll do this for day 3 and this side for day 4. So what I need to do here, I'm gonna leave them in this insert because I think I don't have a card or anything for them to go with. But what I'm gonna do is take a bigger sticky note, and I'm going to mark down right here, create embellishment card / journal. Oh, and I'm gonna put both sides because I don't have anything to go in here, and I might as well just go ahead and create it if I'm working on this whole sheet. Where is it open? There we go. And then right here, I'm gonna take a flag. That flag's all crinkled for some reason. Let me throw that. And I'm gonna put insert goes here. Just so that I remember that that's where it came from. So this will be, what did I say? This is day 3 and this is day 4. So I don't need to put anything extra. This will fold up just like this, so it'll fit in the container. I'm gonna flip. You can see I've got some 12 by 12 pages done that are going in here. Now this whole page is what the rest of this album looks like. Very, very few of them actually have cards or are done. They all just have pictures inserted. So for this project, I am not going to take these cards or these. They're in their pockets, and I'm probably going to do minimal embellishment to them. This is the day we went whale watching, so really a lot of these pictures are just the scenery and just kind of, you know, us being out on the water. But definitely this picture needs to be embellished. So this is going to be number 7. Number 7. And then I'm just going to put a bigger sticky note, and I'm going to put 4x3 card. Because obviously I don't have a card in that pocket at all. So 4x3. And then I'm actually going to do this as number 8. Should I? Yeah, I'm going to do this as number 8. Because, again, what I'll do is I'll see if I can use the same card or whatever I create, if I can create it so it's front to back, and then that way I only have one thing slipping in. This is going to be number, nope, I remember what I was going to do here. This is why sticky notes and index cards are important, because what I plan to do here is my kids are sitting far enough over on this side of the picture that I can actually cut this picture in half and it will take up 2 pockets. So I need to make sure that I write that down. So this is going to be, that was 7, that was 8, so this is going to be number 9. And then I'm just going to make my notes, which I love to do. This so is my like way of doing things. I love making notes. I love kind of organizing. Sometimes though, and I don't know if this is an ADHD trait, but I get so into the organizing that I lose my mojo when it actually comes to creating. But I feel like taking this little project and having a limited amount of supplies, which is really important, and also a limited amount of cards and not as much work as there are days, if that makes sense. So if we're gone for 25 days, I'm not going to bring 25 cards. I will bring maybe 7 cards, and then I feel like I have lots of time to do smaller tasks. So I don't know, in my head that just seems to work for me when I'm traveling. But I'm just going to put here number 1, cut card or cut photo in half to create 2 4x3 pocket sized cards. So that this will stay with me and I'll be able to relate it to this picture. So that's number 9. So following that same rule, here I'm going to make it number 10, so that's this picture. Okay, so the back of this one here is number 11, and it's just going to be an embellishment card. So I went ahead and just wrote here, number 11 card is an embellishment card / a journaling card. Oh, but I should put 4x3 size. And then my last little one here, number 12. Let's pull him out. So we'll put number 12, and then I'm gonna have to write my little sticky note. Unfortunately, this is the one case where I can't use a card on the front and back because this is a full-size picture. So it needs a card. So it's a 4x3 card, and then on here I'll put number 12, and it is my sweet little Bassy boy who was super, super sick on the boat. Seasick Bassy. Poor kiddo. And that, oh, the sticky didn't come off, can go right here. Okay, so let me do a quick count again and just make sure that I've got enough. So this is day 5, day 4, oh, day 3, day 2, day 1. Okay, I have 5 days worth of cards, not very much to work with, but enough to kind of keep me occupied. I think that I will probably bring a few extra things, but for this video and just for the Build-A-Page, those are what I'm gonna work with. So here are all of my cards. So I think I'm gonna end my video here because it is pretty long and I did a lot of talking and a lot of explaining and not so much page building, but in tomorrow's video I will put all of these pages together and show you kind of what the process is for putting the card pages together. So yeah, that's it. If you have any questions, leave them for me down below. If you want me to do a couple of flip throughs of Project Life albums, I haven't done those in a long time, so let me know. I can randomly pick a couple, or you guys can give me a year and I can pull that one out and show you how completed it is, but we will save that for another time. So until tomorrow when I start building these pages, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and happy scrapping. Bye.
Bye. Thanks to me. To my channel.